Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we are looking at this ESK-1 Emergency Survival Kit from EJ Skullcrusher Snyder and the people at Go Prepared Survival. Now this ESK-1 kit, I'd probably got to look it up. Now I'm not sure if this stands for EJ Snyder Kit 1 or Emergency Survival Kit number 1. Pretty sure that's what it is. Otherwise it would be the EJ SK1, right? But this is assembled by Go Prepared Survival and spec'd out by EJ Snyder. So if you're not familiar with EJ Snyder, he is a survival expert, military veteran. He's been on a number of TV shows and does extreme survival challenges, and he has assembled this with his own specifications for what seems to be primarily the outdoor wilderness survival situations, but maybe a little bit of urban crossover. As you can see, this is complete. I have not even looked at this at all. I have a number of thoughts about this, and if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned.
What's up everyone, EJ Snyder here from Discovery Channel. I'm extreme survivalist, and you see me on some really extreme survival shows like Dual Survival, Naked Afraid, and First Man Out. Well, a survival situation can happen to anyone, anywhere, at any time. And that's why it's really important to have, just the little tools on you to survive, to get you out alive. That's why I created the ESK-1 Extreme Survival Kit 1. This little baby packs a punch. Got all the little trinkets you need in there to get out alive in an extreme survival situation. Now it's got navigation, signal, it's got a way to get food, it's got a signal it's got everything you need to help you out and make the situation better. You never know if you're going to be driving along the road and break down a remote location, be hiking out in the woods. This sucker fits in your cargo pocket, it'll fit in the lady's pocketbook, the glove box, and man, you can fit it in your backpack very easily. It's not big at all, and it's got a ton of items in there to make the situation better. Now, you got to have a good willpower to get out alive. You want to have some skill, but in this little guy right here, that's what's going to give you the edge to get out alive. And that's why I created it. The ESK-1, it's got a good price point on it, and you can't go wrong. We've thought about everything when we built it. So get over there, go to gopreparedsurvival.com. You can get one of these over there, or go to my, contact me at my website, www.ejsnyder.com, and we'll try and get you one out to you. Check it out, man, the ESK-1. Yeah! Extreme Survival Kit, get yours today!
Well, so first things first, been out here with a bunch of friends, having an amazing time at this beautiful river. We had a great day yesterday, hiking about 10.5 miles, beautiful summit, come back to camp, this beautiful campsite, and just had a wonderful, wonderful evening, hanging out, enjoying the stars. Just a marvelous time out here in the wilderness. But now trying to find myself kind of a quiet spot. This is a noisy river, so just tucking myself away so we can look at the details of this ESK-1 Survival Kit. Now, first things first is you can see this package. This kit is now on its 4th backpacking trip with me. I've been carrying this around as a kit in my primary gear, as I'd say a supplementary kit. Now, full disclosure, I've been carrying it around pretty much because I need to get down to looking at this and reviewing it. But again, having some of these extra things with me is definitely key. So that's the point in the first place of a survival kit. Having some of the basics that you need in case you run into a scenario. Now, I haven't had any need to break into this yet. I've been okay with my base kit. However, there are a number of items in here that would definitely come into play if I really needed them. And so the first thing here is looking at the size. This has not taken up too much space in my pack overall. It's been decent, not too heavy, but even furthermore, let's just say I wanted to, I could easily just slide this in a pocket, make a nice little go kit, sits there nicely, and I'd even go as far as to say there's plenty of room in this bag so that we could add additional kit to this. So for me to open this, I do want to open it carefully as to not damage the bag because it's a durable bag, and I see this actually the first thing, and it's not even listed on this, But the bag itself, to me, is a good component to this survival kit. So whether or not you use this to gather water, you could take all the contents, carefully remove them, store them someplace else, and use this to get yourself some water. You could use it if you are harvesting berries. This would be perfect if you are harvesting berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, different things that are found in the wild. A lot of times where I hike, and actually there were some on this trip, some wild raspberries. I could easily harvest those and put them in this bag. And so as I mentioned, opening this carefully, just gonna go right from this little hanger here and slice this carefully in both directions to preserve inside. You'll see this Ziploc. Now, just gotta carefully, there you go. So, now at this point, that's the first thing. You'll see everything in here individually packaged in wrappers. That's all water resistant. That's key. So as you look in there, look at this whole entire kit is water resistant. That's smart. So now, as I get into the contents of this kit, I'll remove them one by one. So here you'll see, these are called speed hooks. Now this is for fishing, so automatic fishing, bait included. Real cool. So again, everything being in their own packages. That's really smart. I like that a lot. I think that's a great addition to this, and that gives you just additional packaging if you need little containers or things for harvesting. So next, let's see. Okay, so there's a couple things here. This is water purification tablets. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 water purification tablets. Looks like each one capable of taking care of 1 liter of water. Now, I don't personally like to use these if I don't need to. I prefer to filter. I don't like being my own water chemist out here, but if you had to, obviously, these are for a survival situation, and that would definitely help out. So, water purification tablets, cool. And speaking of that, here is your 1 liter bag. So, the ability to go and gather water, a 1 liter bag, and here inside, a paper filter. So you can filter and pre-treat, actually a couple of them, and pre-treat your water. That's very smart. And if you look at how they packaged all this up together, it makes its own tiny little kit. So very cool. And the only thing that's maybe not really water resistant, and I'm not sure about this packaging, it might be, it looks like it is. So I think this packaging is even water resistant if you're careful. All right, so next, what do we have here? All right, cool. So this is Spartan Fire. Now I've seen these in the past, actually. Other YouTube reviewers have done some reviews of these. I believe you can either burn a full strip or you can cut these into smaller strips and really get a lot of use out of them. So this is a 6-pack. So as you see in here, again, another little bag. This is packaged on its own. This is actually, if you look here, Go Prepared Survival. So looking at the details here, just trying to determine if this is an actual Go Prepared Survival branded product, which I believe it is, but I'll annotate below. So next in here, let's see. Oh, there's a lot going on here. Wow. Okay, this is a huge part of this kit. So we're gonna take this standalone and deal with this in a minute. But at this point, you can see the rest of this bag is empty. Again, I think this bag is a good quality piece of the kit. So taking good care of this. And yeah, let's get through this other content. So nice so far, very, very cool. So again, this piece of the kit, very comprehensive. Again, in a bag of its own, Ziploc. So Go Prepared, keeping all these contents safe. And again, some items in additional bags. So you get multiple layers of waterproof protection here. Now this to me looks to be a Mylar blanket. So a survival blanket. This is definitely gonna come in handy if you need to make an improvised shelter, if you needed a little extra warmth, maybe your sleep system's not cutting it and you need a little extra warmth. You could use this as a sleeping bag liner. A nice reflective layer to keep you warm. So good to have this in a pinch. So here, a number of waterproof matches, 2, 4, 6 of them, and a dedicated striker, all in a waterproof bag. So Definitely could come in handy in a pinch, especially if you lost your lighter, lost your ferro rod, or had no other way to get a fire started. This would definitely help. So here, this is a wire saw, and it's too bad. I would have loved to have tested this out. We did have a fire last night, but we were very busy. A long day of hiking, getting camp set up, and busy getting our fire processed. So I didn't have a good chance to play with this. I've always been curious about these wire saws and how they perform, and it's nice that this comes with one in this kit. Now here you have a Kevlar Repair Kit. So this is some Kevlar sewing thread. I think this is standard sewing thread. A couple of needles, and here's some safety pins to pin everything together. So good little kit, again, in its own little package, nice and tidy, and a good amount of stuff here. It's adding up. This is a nice comprehensive kit. So here these matches say these matches are designed especially for damp climates, but they will not light when wet or after long exposure, several weeks to very damp air. So here, little book of matches. They seem to be, hopefully at least, semi-water resistant. The good thing is, I would think that even if these did get damp, if you were to use these storm-proof matches, get one of these lit, I think in a pinch you could use the waterproof matches to light this entire book and get a good flare-up started. Now moving forward, some micro cord. So a good amount here, and looking at the packaging, this says it is 25 feet. So 25 feet of cordage is definitely, you know, a good amount of cordage. You can make a lot of repairs. 25 feet, you could use it to make a ridge line for a tarp. You could use it for definitely improvised shoelaces if you needed to. A number of reasons where this would come in quite handy. So nice, tidy, tight little spool, and 25 feet of micro cord. Definitely awesome. So here you have a signal mirror, and on the inside of this, so let's see, what is this? As we open this up, it doesn't open. I thought it did, but looks like you can dangle it. This allows you to sight. So as you look here, here's your sighting instructions and the ability to hopefully capture some attention. Be curious to see how well this works. Next, you have a razor blade. So nice little razor blade, compact kit. Gives you at least something to cut with. So if you had to cut that cordage or make some basic repairs, any of the thread, you could use this razor blade. Small, compact, and seems to stow away fairly safely. So that's a nice addition, and I'm glad that's in the kit. Here's a striker. So let's see. There you go. Throwing a little spark there. So that's cool. Again, maybe you could use that even if the matches were a little bit damp to get those started and create a flare-up. But nice to have a couple of different sources of ignition in the kit. Here you have a whistle. So this looks to be a high decibel whistle. I am not going to blow on it. I'm in the wilderness. The last thing I want to do is give false signals out here. But definitely, it says, is that Acme? It says Acme on this. That's awesome. The one thing in the kit that I don't really understand is a handcuff key. Now to this point, this has been a pretty much wilderness survival kit, and this is where you get a little bit of urban crossover. So between this and even that Mylar blanket, a little bit of urban crossover. Here you have a small little button compass, very basic. Now unfortunately, this does not have any way to lash this. I'd love this to have a little loop, and at least you could use this like a zipper pull, which I think would be helpful in a situation where you really needed to leverage this. I think that would be helpful. Now, I'm not going to speak right now as to how accurate it is. It does look like it may possibly be fluid filled, which I think gives it a better motion and hopefully is a little more accurate and smooth and fluid, but I can't say for certain. And again, just having a little bit of a zipper pull would be nice. So maybe future iteration could have a little lanyard on here. And last but not least, nice little micro flashlight. One click, turns on. Second click, turns off. On, off. Very straightforward. And the nice thing, again, speaking of a lanyard, this does have a clip. So I think this is a perfect little ability. Clip this to a pack, clip it to a strap, clip it to a zipper, any part of your kit, that'll work perfectly fine. So at this point, I'm gonna go as far as to say, I think the components in this ESK-1 kit are definitely suitable to get you started. I think this is a baseline to a more comprehensive kit. I don't think this is standalone. I don't think it's going to do everything you need, but it's definitely going to help you in a pinch. And I think if you were to add some of your own items, which again, there is room in the main pouch to add some additional items, I think it would round out the kit nicely. Now, again, just some minor things worth noting. One, I think the handcuff key is a little bit funny. I'm not completely certain how that applies to this kit. But two is just with that button compass, a minor detail, but I think just having that as a lanyard would be helpful. But other than that, definitely some great gear and very interesting. I'd love to have to actually test some of this, and I say that with a grain of salt. Obviously, I don't want to be in a survival situation, but at the same time, I love testing and playing with gear. So all right guys, there you have it. A look at this ESK-1 Survival Kit from EJ Snyder and Go Prepared Survival. Now again, I'd just like to reiterate the fact that I do think that this is a good baseline kit. I've been carrying this on my past 4 backpacking trips. I have no problems with that. There's some gear in here that would definitely come into play, and actually some redundancy with some of the other things that I have, that at this point, now that I know what's in here and I've seen it, I can actually lose some of the other gear out of my kit, and this will become part of my baseline. So adding little things, you know, I have a med kit, but you could slide a couple of bandages in here. Maybe you want a couple of additional hooks for your fishing kit, maybe some additional small baits or a lure or something like that. As long as you're careful and you maintain the integrity with the packaging, I think this kit's a good thing to have with you, and it'll definitely come in handy in a pinch. So all right guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.